just a couple of emails to go through. Everything seems pretty quiet out there this week. Things doing what they should. So we've got this one that's come in as looking at the Euro Pound Phase 2. The analysis all looks pretty good. With you, it seems to have a fib cluster here from that last major move up, and even this little move up, you've got a fib cluster there, which is pretty good support. Plus this low here, which was hit, I think, once before. Yeah, off that low there and that low there. I suppose it's not exactly strong, but it's a support level. Yeah, that low there and this one here. But interesting that we've got the fib clusters from this move. You've got the two, and if you do this little move, you've got the 1.618. So that's a good assumption. The gentleman then goes on to suggest that because the Draghi's talking tonight and the BOE are coming out tomorrow, that he's going to stay away from it. And that's fair enough too, because you're trading against a pretty strong trend. You know, phase 2 trades can be tricky at any time, so it's a good idea to perhaps stay away from them with the news announcements coming out. And looking at the pound yen, I may be setting up pound yen. Okay, hasn't quite come back yet, but it's certainly on its way back to the support or the 50 EMA down here, so that's a good one to keep an eye on. Okay, so that's that one. Just had a question, might as well tackle it now. Is Aussie dollar, suggestion is it looking like a short? We sort of went over this yesterday in the sense that, and you can go and have a look at yesterday's video, that the weekly is more bearish than bullish. We're still, well, it's actually more range bound there, but certainly we're getting the cycles. We're getting the divergence across this high to this high. There's divergence, and this test bar here would suggest that it's weaker than stronger. Yeah, so sorry. Sorry guys, just a sec. But right now on the daily, no, I wouldn't have been looking this for short. I think, this is certainly fundamentally. I don't think there should be the strength from the Aussie, but when you're looking at trend lines and support and ring lows, this is certainly something that you'd be looking at getting long from. At this stage, I don't think it's a short, no. I'm not overly convinced it's going to be a huge buy, a huge buying opportunity. There's a bit of resistance across here, and that's why I went in with only a small amount of capital. What's it looking like on the 4 hours? Certainly there's quite a bit of selling pressure there, but I'm not yet ready to look at it as a sell. I need to see the cycle underneath the EMA, preferably breaking this low in the process, getting through that 92 support, and then on the retest getting short. But at this stage, it's you're either bullish or on the fence. Next question was on the pound in terms of managing it. A question came in saying, do I or should I move my stop loss? At this stage, no. Yes, this is a test bar, but to my mind is that your stop is more than likely going to be, up around here. It's 71.90 area, so about 30 pips. Oh, sorry. The high on this is 47. So let's say you move your, it's called 50. You've got about a 35 pip stop from the high of yesterday. So what are you going to move at, say, 10 pips or 15 pips and into here, which really doesn't sort of give you any resistance because you're out in the middle of nowhere. I think the original trade was something like 70 pip stop, so you could be sort of risking or reducing your risk by half, yes, but you're also getting a lot closer to the market at a point where there's very little resistance. So my suggestion would be no. The manufacturing data last night was pretty weak. And that's why we had this major sell-off. If you're looking at the 4-hour or even the hourly, it's looking like another opportunity for a short. So the answer to the question is no, I wouldn't be moving it. May look at ahead of the BOE tomorrow night of sort of reducing my exposure by either reducing my stop or reducing my volume, but other than that, I'd be leaving my stop where it is at this point. You online? No. Okay. Okay. Kiwi bullish flag, and it's broken through it. There's the last two bars are missing off this screenshot. Marcus suggested go long at 87.80. Taking the screenshot to about that, I'm taking it 1 to 1.1 using fib extensions. So this, okay, so you're looking at this little channel here, suggesting that it's respecting this channel. Yeah. And therefore, as you've got potential to go up to the top there. I think there's certainly enough room and momentum to achieve, getting up here. 88.48 is the high, is the most recent high. 88.42 I think it is. 87.42, 88.42. It's either 88.48 or 88.42. I think I'm pretty sure it's 42, which is this high here. Even though that doesn't actually Trader don't show that. They say the high is 87.97. Well, that's bullshit. Yeah, there it is. 88.42. So that's, it's not that far away. And I would suggest if it gets to that, then at the same time that momentum gets overbought, that you're going to have a failure of this. So that leaves us, about 50 pips as a target, and therefore, what are you going to risk? And when you're already up this high, your best place for a stop is probably under here, or some sort of ATR formation that Mark likes to use. Even so, I think that it's a limited sort of opportunity. So, whilst all this respecting this channel. They can respect channels until they don't. But they will respect horizontal resistance lines such as that previous high. Until such a point they don't respect those either. It makes life interesting. Yeah, so trading a break of 87.80 leaves you sort of 60 pips as a target. Trading now is 50 pips, so yeah, I think it's a lower probability sort of entry or trade. For a ring low or ring high, can any of the three bars be an inside bar? Well, looking at the Aussie, what we're looking at, let's just get rid of that. This is an inside bar, yep, but it's a buyer bar, and then we get another buyer bar, which is a higher high, higher low. So this is three bars, but it's not an exact ring low, because this bar isn't a lower low. Okay, the middle bar. But what we're seeing is that it's come back here, stopped on support, stopped on the EMA, and then started to move away from it again. So that's that's an inside bar. We get the confirmation with a higher high, higher low, and another buyer, two buyer bars, and then we're looking at entering the trade yesterday. Okay. Just going back to this previous email. Above that horizontal support, so you're not even having trading off that, sort of jumping in the middle or at the end of the trend. Ideally, if you're going to do this, you'd say, well, the Kiwi's in a trend and in an uptrend, and you start looking at something like the 4 hour or even the hourly as there's a nice little cycle above the EMA. And you go, well, yeah, I'm bullish, and I'll have a look at this going along. That would have been yesterday as well. So that's I would be looking at the shorter time frames. So you can say that you've got horizontal support, and you've got your Fibonacci retracements, and all of those supporting factors that we look for in a trade are going to be there. Whereas this point is not. You're trading some sort of other chart pattern. I don't mind you trading another chart pattern. There's no little point doing this kind of checklist if you're going to use those kind of chart patterns. You have to have some other kind of checklist. And we did briefly cover chart patterns in prop trading, but it's a bit more advanced than what most of us are, or what I'm trying to introduce you to, guys. I'm just trying to keep it simple. And trading chart patterns is a little more advanced, and you can sort of go through those with someone like Mark on an individual coaching basis. You're also interested in the Euro Pound Phase 2. Euro Pound Phase 2, as we sort of just mentioned, there is a fib cluster here, but you do have major news announcements coming out, with Draghi talking tonight and the BOE tomorrow. So there is reasons for you to take this trade, but you might need to just be careful of the news that's coming around it, because you're trading against a major trend here. If the price is reacting to the 20 EMA, the risk reward is reduced, and you don't want to risk it. Okay. If it's tracking along the 20, then your risk reward would be severely reduced, because it'll be less than 1 to 1 if you're targeting that sort of thing there. Okay. Also interested in the pound yen, CAD Sing and CAD yen, as they were all potential ring lows for tomorrow. Okay. Pound yen, not yet. Maybe. You'd want to see it a little lower. I'd like it to come back and sort of test this area here. Maybe even that, and get a ring low off here, and start looking at it. Then at this point, I'd not be interested in it. I'm short the pound on this basis anyway. So I'll just be patient waiting that. It might turn it as a ring low if this is a higher high, but that's we'll cross that bridge when if it does get there. What is it? What is this testing anyway? Is there on the weekly? That looks good, doesn't it? There is a horizontal support there. It'd be interesting to see what happens. The more I look at it now. Momentum's at 48. Yeah. I'll see what I'll be looking at it to see what that brings for tomorrow. Cad Singh, the old cup and handle thing, and thank you for those who sent me the cup and handle description. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is your handle and there's your cup, or if it should be the other way around. I'm not sure. To me, this is just phase 2 trading, and be looking to sort of get long off these highs here, or around $1.16. And CAD yen. Yeah. Somewhere in there is where you'd be wanting to get an opportunity, but at this stage it's doing a phase 2. And yeah, if you've got screenshots that you're potentially interested in, yeah, if you've done the work and you want to send them in, I don't have a problem. We can go through them. It gives us something to look at and analyse, and maybe other people may not have been aware of some trades setting up, including myself. So by all means, send them through. Just got what someone's saying that my charts look very different to what you're seeing. For example, the dollar CAD, they're saying that they couldn't get the Fibonacci coming from. All I ask is, this. Have a look at the dates. This is August low on the weekly chart, and link it to the this September low in 2013 on the weekly chart, and I've just linked those two, as you can see, the little white dots. Link those two lows, and we've got this. Whilst on the weekly doesn't look like it's touched, when we come to the daily, we've got the perfect touch. And then I've drawn the Fibonacci from that low in September 2013 to the high in 2014, and we can see that that's where we're sitting at. I'm not sure why why the video reflects something different. That's I'm using AxiTrader MetaTrader to show you the charts, which is the same as what you're trading on, so there shouldn't be any difference whatsoever. Maybe it's just the video thing, or video feed. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. Inside bar on the Aussie forms a classic power pivot signal. It's certainly possible that it does. Power pivot was 2 sellers followed by a buyer bar. Yeah, there's the old Greg Secker power pivot trade. I thought it was testing 173.5. 173.5. Yeah, could well be doing that. 173.5, nice round number. and it hasn't sort of really got there yet, but it's close, 20 odd pips away. As I said, you got quite a bit of selling here in 3 days. You need to see a bit more buying before starting to get interested in this, and you know, let's have a look at that in the morning and see what tomorrow may bring. Yeah. CAD-yen. Testing the 20 EMA, again possible. But again, there's quite a bit of selling here. Last 3 or 4 days, need to see a bit more buying. Okay. That's that one. Now, this one, short US CAD on the 4 hour. Okay. Short of it there. Alright. What my concern with this is you need to be looking at the daily. Okay. And it's quite clear that there's divergence and there's a bit of buying power coming in here, which is obviously making the 4 hour give us a little run up. I'm not sure where you got in or where you got short. It would seem at the height of that bar. Seem you got short at the height of this bar, which is a bit of a random spot to get short at. But considering that we're looking at this as trading long, because it's oversold, we've got that shift in momentum, and we have the reasons for it, being there's Fibonacci, there's that trend line, there's horizontal lines. Reasons for us to be looking at getting long for a bit of a run up. I would not be looking at selling the 4 hour. During this period, this run down. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. During this run down on the daily, you could have been looking at the 4 hour. Yeah. At that point in time, this point in time, I think you're coming into it too late. And similarly, I think your other one is Aussie CAD going short now. Again, it looks like you're shorted it way too early. Aussie CAD. Yeah, you need to set the daily up and say, okay, well, there's an opportunity. There's a clear downtrend in the daily. Was there an opportunity in the shorter time frame? Excuse me. And with this cycle here, that's when that's this point here. You could be looking at the 4 hour there because it's starting a new phase 1 on the daily. In a clear sort of bearish trend. And so I'd be looking at this now on the Aussie CAD, not when you got in, which is again way down here. I'm not sure exactly why you traded there. Sell stop. Okay, so you haven't actually traded yet. And you haven't traded that one yet either. Okay. Pound long on the 4 hour. Well, there's a clear trend in the pound, but again, we're sort of looking at this as an opportunity to go short. I think the probabilities of you getting it much out of this are limited. Sure, the Kiwi, it might have been something like that, even though the Kiwi is giving us divergence. It got down here to sort of 50, so that gives us an opportunity to go north. But the pound hasn't sort of got down that far. The pound's still in the 60s area, and so by the time it gets up here to sort of 72, I I think it's going to really struggle to get to that. Tomorrow night, BOE can seriously throw the spanner in the works on that. But with the daily overextended, I don't think the 4 hours is the opportunity. Again, it's in here, which is in this area here, that you're potentially looking at it. Yeah, I think that's you need to do the study on the daily first, and make sure that there's enough of an opportunity for you to participate in and get a result. I just don't know if I see that in this. Hourly, I'd be looking to go short there. You've got lower highs each all the way through. You've got lower lows pretty much all the way through too. I know we looked at going short here, and you moved your stop there. You would have made a bit of money unless it hit your target anyway. So we're looking at going short there yesterday, I think, off that ring high. Yeah. Okay. And that's pretty much it for. I hope that makes sense to you all. So next week we've got the Prop Trader Partner Program for 2 days, and the Prop Trader Pro course for 2 days. And then I'm going to go and do that again in Perth for 2 days, and back on the 25th for doing the next webinar, Q&A. So I will be on emails. If you've got any questions or issues that you need help with, let me know. Otherwise, I'll either see you in the course or on the webinar on the 25th. Would it be possible to talk about how to best use Mark's teachings? The best person to be able to do that would be Mark. I don't know what Mark is teaching. I've heard that he's doing an ATR style, using ATR as a stop management and target process, which I think is great. I like ATR myself, but it's I haven't sat down with him and got to understand what he's actually teaching. So if you want to learn more about what he's doing, then I'd say that you need to sort of discuss that with him. How to best combine what he teaches and you teach to simplify it. Well, it's literally using the ATR and as a stop loss management tool, and as a target, setting a target tool. Basically, where you look for entries, and with the course that I teach, you're looking for those support levels, the horizontals, having those reasons for taking the trade is all well and good, such as the Aussie. Using that and saying, okay, here's an opportunity to go long because it fits the rules of prop trading, and you combine that with what Mark's teaching in terms of how far you place your stop, because normally I'd be looking at a place of stop underneath that. You might be saying, well, the ATR on this is only 15 pips, so I'll use a 15 pip stop, and then my target is going to be 2 times ATR, so my target is going to be 30. That kind of process is what I think Mark is doing. But as I said, I'm not exactly sure. If you should go and have a chat to him about it. You don't need to be changing the rules of identifying an entry point. I don't think Mark is changing that. But what he is looking at is having a better management on, or a different management on the stops and the targets. And that's okay. You can. I don't mind you doing that. I don't mind you looking at it, or introducing that into your program, but I just want you to, record it. So saying that this is what I'm going to be doing, so we can see what the results are like. Yeah. How does the ATO work? How does it work? ATR stop. Well, Nick, as I said, mate, in the email, you best go and talk to Mark about that. It's not something that I've introduced. It's something that he's done. I don't have a problem with it. More than happy for you guys to introduce it, but go and talk to Mark about it. Okay. Okay. Right. Someone's or Phil sent me an email about how the mind works for those who are successful traders. I'll include that link in the link for the video here today. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Have a good, safe week. And I'll talk to you either on Tuesday at the course or in a couple of weeks for the next webinar. As I said, I'll be here on email if you need me, if it's urgent, but otherwise, see you then. Cheers, guys.